Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara's playing her game. And today we are doing a first impression on the Kizer Swags Swayback. If you don't know who Swags is, she used to work for Smoky Mountain Knife Works. She's got a channel of her own, or at least on Instagram. I don't know about on YouTube. But she designed a couple knives. She's designed one for CJRB and then now a button lock swayback knife or a swayback design. So let's get into it. So we got a Wharncliffe blade here, an N690. It comes in a couple different colors. We got the purple one. It is G10 with steel liners and a great button lock. It works relatively well. It is a little bit on the thicker side. So the blade is relatively thin. It's not like micro thin behind the edge, but it seems pretty slicey, especially because it's such a thin blade stock. It is a Wharncliffe blade shape, so you're going to be able to really get some leverage behind that tip, you know, for opening things up while still being able to cut. I know you're looking at it wondering what are the ergos like, so let's talk about that. So it is a little different, you know, because you have this spot right here, so it kind of pokes up into your hand a little bit, but I feel like, because maybe it's my hands because I have larger size hands, I feel like smaller hands might just love it. But for my hands, it's not the best, but it's okay. It's just what I do is I let it go up under here, and it feels pretty comfortable. Holding it like that works. Now, holding it like this, it's okay. Like for if I was going to do a push cut, it'd be no problem. Especially if I went over that choil, that would be fine. So, and then holding it like this, I let it kind of go into the crease right there for these type of cuts. But you do have to kind of get used to it because it feels like it's poking you in the hand back here a little bit. But that's kind of the way the swaybacks are. But in certain grips, it feels actually good. Like with my palm right here, when it hits right there and I hold it like that, that feels relatively well. And like I said, it kind of sits in the crease of my hand. That feels very good. And it is a little thick, you know, compared to the blade. The blade isn't, it's very thin. So it's.
Yeah, I agree.
It's, the jimping works, so the jimping is definitely a little sharp. I mean, in a good way. It's good. It bites you, but it feels thick compared to the way the blade is. But you know, that could be a good thing to a lot of people because you're gonna get, you know, a little bit better of a grip on your handle and it not be too thin in the hand. The action is very nice. This is a well-tuned detent, especially for a button lock. So they got a good amount of tension on it because it flips very snappy. Nice drop. And then the thumb stud action is also very crisp. Reverse flick you can absolutely do. Nice and crisp. Nice and well-tuned. Nice strong detent. Because to have good action from flipper tab to thumb stud, with a flipper tab, you got to have a stronger detent. I mean, that's just the way it goes. This is a lighter blade, and it is on bearings. Now, the reverse flick, you might have to get used to a little bit. Not meaning it's positioned very bad, because the thumb studs are a little bit higher than the G10. Or maybe not, but you can get in there. But it is a little bit more tension than you usually get on a reverse flick, but not by much though. Really not by much. It's very snappy. It actually feels very good. I very much like the detent on this. Slow rolling it, you do have to kind of catch it because the detent is a little strong. So it does kind of pop out and try to get ahead of you. But you can easily cover it, put tension on it, break the detent, and roll it. So it's not hard, and I could tell that it will eventually break in. It is a little awkward in the hand, the way you got to grab it. Just because of the shape. Because, like, I don't know. I can't really grasp exactly what it is, but it's this swoop. That's what it is. But you can do it though, very easily. And then when you push the button lock in, it's very smooth. I know it'll break in even more. Nice and centered. I'm trying not to swing it. It does pop out sometimes, but the detent is nice and strong. I do feel like the bearings are a little tight, or should I say not the bearings, the button, when it gets up on to the blade, I can feel it creating tension from right there. So I have to kind of push it in. But when you have the button pressed, it's obviously very, very smooth. Then it's just, free falling basically. But if you let go of the button, it will stop and you will have to push it in. Sometimes it bounces out, but once you get it down, it's not a problem. Positioning your hand to the thumb stud, though, this thing does kind of push in. And the reason why I'm talking about it so much is I know it's close to Christmas. So I kind of want to talk about it as much as possible. I know people are looking for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So I don't want to let, my opinion on this thing out right before Christmas Day. The sharpening choil looks good, actually, kind of. I see the plunge grind is nice and early, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad one. You'll definitely get a couple sharpenings out of it before it hits the plunge grind, but they could have went a little bit deeper. Now, it doesn't hit nothing back here, so you're not going to have an issue filing a bigger one or sharpening it until it's, till it's not there no more, and then filing a new one. So that's cool. I like that. I like that they didn't use the stop pin back there. The stop pin, great size, especially for this light of a blade. That's actually pretty cool. Decent size. Now, it's not a big stop pin or anything like that, but for this light of a blade, this is a very thin blade stock. Let's look at it next to another relatively thin blade stock. Here's the Rat 1. So it's definitely thinner than the Rat 1. You can look up the thickness. Thinness behind the edge, I don't know what it is. Let me just check really quick. It's about 19 thousandths behind the edge, maybe 18 thousandths. It was right there, about 18 thousandths. But it's such a thin blade stock that it's going to cut very well. So the geometry is not bad at all. The purple looks really good. Like I said, it does come in a couple different colors. N690 steel, very stainless, good edge retention. It reminds me a little bit of 14C28N. This is left-handed now, and you can see how snappy that action is. This is another thing, and I noticed this on Stas's. He talked about it, that they have the reversible clip, which is nice because being a button lock, this is going to be very friendly to left-handed users. And I have problems right now with my thumb. I don't have a lot of movement in it, and so it's my thumb. It's not the action. But you can see it's you got plenty of access to the thumb stud. I could see this being very popular for left-handed users, and you have plenty of access for that reverse flick. Yeah, very nice reverse action for oh, that was my fault. Very nice. And you can always hit the button and flick it too. Just push the button and flip it out and let go of the button. So this is going to be very friendly for left-handed users. That's awesome. It's pretty small for me. The total length is 7 inches. Just under 7 inches. So it's just under, with a 3-inch blade. So 3-inch blade, there you go. I mean, if you guys want to see some quick size comparisons, I brought out some other great budget options. So how much was this, baby? 50 bucks?
I believe so, yeah.
So this is around $50. This one you can get for $25 in D2 and great micarta. So you can see they are pretty much the exact same size. So this is the QSP Penguin, a great buy, and then they have an S35 VN version for like around 50 bucks. Here is the Kizer mini beg letter. I think they're in the same steel. No, this one's in 154 cm, sorry. So, so you see it is a little bit bigger than the mini Dolman by Kizer. Another thumb stud knife. It is on phosphor bronze washers. This one's a little bit more pricey, but it's still a kind of a budget option. Ferrum Forge, it's made by We. The mini Archbishop. Ferrum Forge has a couple new knives out too. They have the Prolic, I think, or whatever it's called. They're around 90 bucks. And then the Stinger. This is the mini Archbishop, another great option for people on a budget. Here's another new knife. This is the Suncut Citus, which is made by Civivi or We. It's a little bit longer than this one, but this is a great budget option. These things are under $40 with amazing action. I mean, this thing is very, very fidgety. I just did a review on that one. Most of these should have reviews on them. Then here is the CJRB Mini Feldspar. They are the same length. This is another great budget option. I think these are $33 or something. Or it's right around $30. It might be above, it might be under, but it's right around $30. Great option too. This one has great thumb stud action and is on bearings. Great action. And then here is the mini, the small Honey Badger. They make 3 different sizes in this knife. This knife is also very fidgety with great action. I forget the price on these. I think these are about 30 bucks. But you got a good reverse flick, good thumb flick, and a flipper. Liner lock. Do I recommend it? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I do. Especially if you want a budget or a small, knife. The clip, it's just a standard spring clip. I did put it in and out of my pocket, and it works great. No complaints on the clip. I mean, it looks kind of budgety. It's got the swags on there with the little heart, so no complaints. Very cool. I like it. It's a little awkward in my hand, but I do like it, though. Not bad in my hand, just a little awkward. When I'm in this grip, it's like poking me right there. But once I use it in the grips, I'll probably be cutting with it in. I don't know. This is just a first impression. So, there you guys go. Love you guys. Peace.